It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray, who for some reason doesn't want to wear his glasses to the movies, and I don't understand that. He sits in the front row with his nose right in the screen so he can actually read the subtitles at the foreign films. It's very, very weird. I don't know why he doesn't want to sit with us. Maybe it's because Jim smells. Do you smell?
I smell like a lot of things.
Yeah, you smell all right.
You also sit in the top row. I don't like climbing stairs.
Yeah, that's what you say. I think you just I think you just don't want to look like a nerd with your glasses.
Also true.
Hey there, Merman.
Yo.
So, with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
To all the nerds out there, thanks to all who've been listening and supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. We'll watch it. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsors.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event, or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Ready for this?
I'm ready for this. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm ready for this.
That will be our CIFF music.
I love the CIFF music. Oh, I feel like I'm in a video arcade from 1974. And I'm playing... What games were out in 1974? Pong?
74?
Pong.
74, yeah.
And I'm playing Pong.
Sure.
Ping,
I don't think they had video arcades for Pong.
ping,
They did not back then, no.
ping, ping,
Yeah, you can stop now.
Pong. So, for those who are listening and have gone to Calgary National Film Festival, you can find everything CIFF, as we call, at ciffcalgary.ca. And you'll get to see all the films that we're playing at our festival this year, and you should make note of the ones that we loved, because they will be coming out in theaters near you, hopefully,
Some will.
within the next year. So get your pen and paper out and make note.
And remember, CIFF Calgary is CIFF Calgary
.ca.
.ca.
Also known as KIFF.
People,
For a
who
short
calls
time.
it KIFF?
For a short time they did.
Crazy people.
They did for a short time.
CIFF.
Either way, you got to make it clear that it's CIFF, because
Oh,
CIFF
some
sounds like
could be
S,
SIF.
and KIFF sounds like K. So no matter how you say it,
It still comes
still gotta
out
spell it out.
CIFF Calgary, CALGARY.ca.
yeah, ciffcalgary.ca.
That's right.
And CIFF is CIFF.
Ping. So, lucky for us, we did get to see another shorts package.
Did we? I don't know.
We did.
Did I like any of them?
You loved all of them.
Oh.
So the shorts package that you'll see, again, on CIFF's website, which Bryce spelt out for you, so you have no excuses not to look it up. This package was called Things I Imagined. And it was the animated one.
It was the animated one.
That's
I love this
right.
package.
This, of the packages we saw, this was the best. So we're just going to cram through this package and tell our ratings on it. And Murray, I got to see, I think, almost all of these, didn't you, Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Murray's not a big fan of animation, but
No.
he doesn't like make-believe. Anything that's make-believe, it's
I
kind of...
like make-believe as long
it
as there's-
concerns
But he
Murray.
likes Thor.
Live actors in it.
Ah, there you go. See, he hates all of the Disney animated.
I don't
He
hate
likes
them.
it when they remake it with live action.
I just don't watch cartoons.
There you go.
Since I was about 10.
except CGI cartoons when they're in a Thor movie.
When yeah.
So you really liked Aladdin?
90 whatever?
No,
Oh,
from 2000
yeah,
something.
The one with Will Smith as
I
the
stopped watching
genie.
Disney movies like 15 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I thought you liked live action.
Live action.
Live action Disney movies.
Grown-up movies.
Oh.
Like Thor.
No,
like
like
Thor?
anything. Anything
Oh.
that isn't
Thor a
animated
grown-up movie?
with grown-ups in it.
So if it was an animated movie before, like Lord of the Rings, and then they redid it with live people, like the remake,
I didn't never like
that Peter Jackson did? So you just don't like things that are imagined.
Do you like anything?
I like lots of things. Just apparently nothing that you do.
Well, let's find out if Murray likes some of these shorts.
Spoiler alert, that'd be a no.
Okay, well, let's find out. Bet you there was one in
Let's
there.
find out if I liked any of these
I'm
shorts.
pretty sure you did.
All right, Ice Merchants. I love swings, but you could not pay me to make ice this way. But I loved watching it being made that way. This was a freaking mondo.
It was a Mondo.
Dumb.
What?
Oh, dumb.
I think you was watching something different.
Yeah, I think he was.
Ice Merchants was Mondo.
Hats off to you, Murray, for that. The Record. Very well shot, black and white, magical record. Takes a while, but it finds its color. It was very creative, but to me it was a meh.
What was that one?
That was the one with the black and white and the record, and it told stories. You know, that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
Grab
good. I liked
memories
it.
from your mind and played them for
Yeah,
yours.
that was
Yeah.
actually really good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was meh.
And so that's what I said. Now I was gonna actually look up, because if you asked me a question that you forgot something and then I forgot, then we would have it. But I'm not doing that. The Flying Sailor. Explosive wiener spins into space balls. Thanks, Halifax, for the history lesson.
Yes.
This was a mondo for
This
me.
was a Mondo for me as well.
And what did you feel about Halifax exploding? No?
Just
All right.
no.
It was
Okay.
dumb. It was dumb.
It was
All
excellent.
right. Steakhouse. Tasty steak is worth running home for. Hi, bless your husband is a dick. Happy birthday, tongue-tastic Mondo.
What was this one?
It was a
Well, should I
taste-tastic
give away the
Mondo.
spoiler on it?
Yeah,
But
go ahead. Give the spoiler away, Mer.
Basically, he makes her a steak and she's late coming home, so it's burnt.
Yep.
So
Right.
Remember?
basically, he tries to eat it and he bites his own tongue off and she cooks it and eats it.
Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was Mondo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't hate that one.
Good. Why didn't you hate it?
I don't know.
I'm
It
a
just
little
had an
confused.
interesting premise.
I'm confused. Why didn't you hate it?
I don't know.
It
Didn't love
spoke to
You're
your-
so inconsistent.
It spoke to your cannibalism in your heart of hearts.
Out of the package, that one I kind of didn't mind.
Kinda didn't mind.
Kind of didn't mind. Well, you know
Nice.
what? That's kind of awesome. The Originals. Cool animation, but the story was meh.
Yeah, what was that one?
It was The Originals. I can't remember.
don't
I
that
just
one either.
didn't like it enough to say more about it.
I don't remember that one
The
either.
originals.
Yep.
I was starting to taking notes.
Yeah, maybe.
I thought you were.
I would normally have this up, but because the festival's not on right now, searching the
Well, yeah, you
website,
can't really find it on the because
It's not as
already
easy.
played.
Yeah, it's just a package. Doesn't
it's just a
come up as-
blur of blurness.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna
remember
say it was meh for you too, because we were kind of bang on with this shorts package. It was like afterwards we'd go, that was good, or that was not good, or that was this,
Alright.
or that was this. So
fair.
the Originals, I guess, wasn't that original. Goodbye, Jerome. Freaktastic heaven with a bit of Yellow Submarine feel animation. Moral of the story: wiener dogs are worth dying for.
Yeah, right.
I liked it a lot, but it was meh for me.
It was all right.
you remember what about the wiener dogs, Mer?
Wiener dogs.
Wiener dogs.
There was like a hot dog
Oh, yeah.
stand. He was selling actual wiener dogs in the bun.
That was
Yes.
awesome.
And
What are
then
you talking about, Matt? That was Mondo.
Then the guy
Yeah.
bought it and it followed him home.
I know. I loved it.
It was a little mad for me.
Mondo.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Zune. Semen monster, sex munching multiplier, plus a perfect ending. This was a Mondo beyond Mondos for me.
This was
So
this-
awesome.
There was like 2 shorts that were above
and beyond
anything.
everything that's ever been done in the world.
Exactly, and this was one of them. It was a super duper Mondo.
Yeah.
Of course, the diamond beating the other one.
Right. But this one is, it's nice and
It's so-
short.
It's so different.
It's compact.
But it was
it's
so
unique.
good and so
And they're
just
little weird
funny.
semen
Yeah.
people. Right, Mer?
I don't remember it.
You don't remember it? They were like having an orgy in the sky. It was
And
fantastic.
then they
Yeah.
exploded.
Sure
it was
didn't like
so...
it.
And then they went pop.
pop.
Sure, I didn't like it, whatever it was.
Oh man.
I love Murray's enthusiasm about these shorts that we make him watch. Thank
Yes,
God he
make
got...
me watch.
That's right. The key word is there,
the
make
key
him.
word.
We do a lot of things to make him do he doesn't want to do.
Actually,
Sierra.
you made me watch it because I had to use my
Your
my
computer
perks
thing for us to use
be
it.
able
That's
see
right.
it. So there.
Sierra, everything from Estonia is awesome. There, I said it.
I don't remember.
Be it Frog Friends,
Oh yeah.
race cars,
Yeah.
weird road races,
That is one crazy
where you use your
short.
kids as a tire.
Yes.
Estonia, we love you so much.
Yeah. No, that was Mondo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talk
right,
talk about original.
Right, the kitty becomes a spare tire.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Vaguely recall that one.
It was fantastic.
It was, I mean, Estonia,
Mondo.
right? If it's animated and it's from Estonia, it's going to be amazing.
It's just the way it is.
Run, Toti Run.
Yay!
Very cool pastel painting type animation
Animation's
of a
great.
greyhound and his man.
Yay!
Animation was very cool.
Yes.
But it was a little too family friendly for my liking.
I liked it.
I know you like
should have been a
family
Disney
dramas.
movie.
It was Mondo.
It was kind of like a
It
Disney
was a
movie.
Disney movie.
Yeah.
It was Mondo.
If you like greyhounds and like watching them die on TV, then you'll love
There's
this
a boy
one.
and his dog, and then there's like a, angel in heaven kind of aspect.
So
to the
well
thing.
done.
So well done. All right. That was the shorts package.
Is that it?
Now, we're going to talk about our favorites from the second half of the festival. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Murray's going first. Did you
Well,
have 5 favorites?
No, I did not.
'Cause you didn't see
It's
enough.
going to be a short list.
Because you're a workaholic.
Not necessarily. I just didn't go to the same ones as you. Of the 8 films and the 1 shorts package that I managed to see in the second half of this year's festival, I only really liked 3 of them.
Okay, well, you like them. That's good.
Not surprisingly, 2 of them were Canadian films.
Isn't that awesome?
Generally, Canadian films get a bad rap. They have lower budgets and aren't usually that good. But the true gems manage to overcome lack of funding with a really good story.
Nice.
First up, number 3, because I do them in Bryce's order.
Oh.
North of Normal. After being raised in the wilderness, a teenage girl moves to the city, hoping for a normal life with her hippie, pot-smoking, flaky mother. Director of this film, Carly Stone, actually won the Emerging Canadian Artist at this year's
sweet.
festival.
Nice.
It was a tightly woven story with a dynamic performance from the young lead actress. Even featured a cameo by Robert Carlyle
Nice.
as the wise, government-hating grandfather.
Everybody loves that
Basically,
guy.
He's living off the grid. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He just hates everything. He tries to steer his granddaughter in a different direction than what she wants to go. It was highly dramatic, entertaining film with a great cast. Didn't like the ending that much, which is what brought it down to a meh.
Oh, nice.
Still a good film.
Was it a high man?
Hi, man. Yeah.
Nice.
Next up, The Woodcutter Story.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes, this was a foreign film.
Yeah, what? And Murray had to wear his...
and I liked it, but
he didn't wear his glasses.
I didn't have, well, I had to move down. Did I have to move down? No, I had to move down. The only time I had to move down was because the subtitles were white against a white background.
Yeah, this one...
This one wasn't as bad. Even though it was snow, it wasn't as bad. Maybe they had a black outline. I don't know. But.
Maybe.
Pepe, the woodcutter's life in his Finnish village is torn apart over a course of a few days. He's seemingly fine with it all, as though he knows some profound truth about existence.
Ooh.
What is it about Scandinavian films?
I don't know.
They seem to capture my imagination, pull at my heartstrings, and have me leaving the theater with a smile on my face.
Nice.
Every damn time. This film was no exception. This happy-go-lucky fellow who has his whole life crash around him never loses his cool. Even when his own son abandons him for a whacked-out cult leader. Talking fish, talking fish, talking fish. Mondo.
Nice.
And my favorite film of the festival, The End of Sex.
Ooh.
Also Canadian production.
Sweet.
A couple feeling the pressures of parenting and adulthood send their kids to a winter camp, which I never heard of,
I never heard
for
of a
the
winter
first
camp.
time and embark on a series of sexual adventures to reinvigorate their relationship. Emily Hampshire and Jonas Chernick together again.
What?
For those who don't know, they starred in a film called My Awkward Sexual Adventure about 10 years ago. Also directed by Sean Garrity.
What?
That film also screened at CIFF
What?
and went on to moderate success down in the US of A.
Woohoo!
So much so that the production companies wanted a sequel.
And it took 10
This
years
is
to
not
get it.
that sequel.
Oh.
It just seems like it.
Gotcha.
This happy but sexless couple tried everything to spice up their love life. From an ill-advised threesome with her best friend,
Sounds
who
awesome.
basically falls in love with her, to taking ecstasy, or Molly as the kids call it,
Nice.
to paying a visit to a sex club, where they run into her kinky parents, with a special cameo by Colin Mockery,
Nice.
which
I
you
wish
know,
Colin Mockery was my
shirtless
dad.
and wearing devil horns. That was a sight to behold.
He's a sexy beast.
This is my favorite film of this year's festival, like I said. Special thanks to our #1 listener and supporter, Philip,
Yes.
for recommending it. I actually switched from a film that the three of us were supposed to go to, something about dirt,
Yes.
but I'm glad I did. I got to meet the director and had an awesome 90-minute joygasm.
Nice.
I was sad not to be able to meet Jonas Chernick. He wasn't there, as I'm a big fan of his work. The aforementioned Awkward Sexual Adventure, How to Plan an Orgy in a Small Town, A Swingers Weekend, James versus his future self, and now The End of Sex. If you're sensing a theme, there is one. Jonas perfectly plays the awkward, nerdy type with deep-rooted sexual insecurities you'll instantly root for. All these films are funny, sexy, and naughty without being dirty or gross. I highly recommend you seek them out. Well done, Mr. Garrity. Extremely fun, orgasmic mondo.
Nice.
I highly recommend this film if you can find it.
I'm sure people will be able to find it. Because I think you can still find that awkward
Well,
sexual
that
adventure.
one did a little better in the States, so
Yeah.
I think it got picked up in the States by
Well, did
somebody.
you like that one better than the other one?
Hard to say. I don't remember.
You don't remember 10 years
a
ago?
lot of the details about the first one, but in the first one, he was married to somebody else, and Emily Hampshire was like a what do you call it? It's not a sex therapist. People who actually have sex with you to like cure you of.
Prostitutes?
No, it wasn't a prostitute. They're actually a professional, but they're
Oh.
like a professional sex therapist, whatever it was.
Ah, right.
Yeah,
So it
prostitute.
no.
Guys does as a psychiatrist or
Anyway,
whatever.
Classy
yeah.
prostitute.
But
There
that
you
was
go.
also a Sean Garrity film, and it was also awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, those are the three that I really enjoyed. And the rest were, okay.
Yeah. Not your cup of tea.
No, a lot of them weren't.
All right. I believe.
It says here, Europe next.
Then I'm next. Is that right? Mine are not in any order
According to the guy who
Yeah,
did
of course
the,
they're not.
Of course they're not.
because it doesn't make sense. I like them all equally, and all for different reasons. So I can't rate them by which one I like better.
Yeah. That's not how lists work, but go ahead.
Sure, it does. It's like, what's your 5 favorites? These are them. And if you ask me which one was my favorite, on the night I saw the one of them, that was my favorite. But then I watched a different one, and that became my favorite.
You can't
For
have
that
more
night.
than one favorite.
I can have lots of favorites.
If you look up favorite in the dictionary, favorite actually
Favorites.
means one.
Favorites.
No such animal.
It's a thing. So,
Always go
one
ahead.
of my favorites was Piaf.
Oh, I forgot about Piaf. I got to add it to my
You gotta
list.
change. You gotta change your list. These types of films are why I go to film festivals. I want to be challenged and stretched and surprised and freaked out and sexually frustrated by horsewomen and a story so wild and wonderful you don't know what's happening, but you are just happy to be along for the ride. Ride being a pun intentionally about a horsewoman. Shot on real film and in amazing color and cinematography and sound that is mind-blowingly mondo. I have never had to adjust my penis in my pants as many times as I had in this watching a horse play.
Yeah.
It was sexy,
Yeah, you lost.
sexual, and awkward. Just like you were just talking about, Murray.
Yeah.
Hey,
but
there-
it was in a
there
different
was
movie.
horseplay
Only,
in
only
my
this
movie
one
too.
was good.
There was horseplay at that sex club they went to.
Nice.
Nothing.
Nothing like this horseplay, I think.
Nothing like this horseplay, I'm sure.
So that was one. Another one was Smoking Causes Coughing.
Yes, I saw that.
Power Rangers meets The Feebles
Ninja Turtles.
meets Tales from the Crypt meets Japanese gore. It was so funny. I hope this becomes a TV show. I've never said that about any movie, but if this became a TV show, this is the only TV show I would watch for the rest of my life. And it was French. The only bad thing about it was, like all French movies, apparently except this one, there's nudity. And this, there wasn't any.
There was nothing.
There is no nudity.
There was none.
Nothing.
It surprised me.
I don't think there's nudity in any of his movies, though. So
Wherever he
And yet he's still French.
yeah.
That's right.
he's-
He's a disgrace to his country.
He's changing culture one movie at a time.
At least there was drinking, so that's one thing.
Yeah, exactly. And other horror things, tropes. Here's another one. The Woodcutter Story, as Murray has already attested. This is one of those stories you could think on forever. Not very often are you pulled into a story that every single moment that I was entangled in this film, I did not know what was going to happen from one moment to the next. And the slow, unraveling story filled with bone-dry humor, fantasy, as Murray mentioned, talking fish, a man-bear-pig, and around every corner is an unexpected pleasant surprise. So much I was baited with anticipation through every long and beautifully shot brilliance. This is a very big mondo, and I wouldn't say I love Scandinavian films as much as Murray, because I'm not from there, but I still love this one a lot.
And just when you think that nothing else bad can happen to this guy, something else comes up. It's like
Something
just
weird and
piles
wonderful.
on. I'm like, oh, poor guy. Then something else happens. I'm like, what else can they do to him? Then something else happens.
But every time something good
And
would
just
happen.
smile on his face with his, little, what do you call it? Deerstalker.
His toque,
Toque thing.
his
hat.
Scandinavian toque.
Took. Yeah. It was.
Children
I enjoyed it.
of the Mist. I normally don't like this style of observational doc because observational docs are not my favorite. But holy fucking God, I was so invested in this from scene one. So much learning about the culture. Through observational viewing only, I was fascinated by the thoughts and responses to some of their daily culture that seemed normal to them, but to me was horrific. Like the New Year's Eve celebration, where your daughters can be kidnapped and married if they don't run fast enough. Or if your parents are too drunk to protect you. Not sure, but these two lines kind of gives you an example of what this film, or maybe how it would shock those of us in North America. This is a direct quote. New Year's is the season of bride kidnapping. Or, who will feed the pigs when I'm drunk? And out of context, it sounds funny, but it's truly horrific as you're watching this movie unfold. In response to her underage daughter who gets kidnapped. I was literally in shock this entire movie. I was laughing awkwardly at it because I was so uncomfortable because I have daughters of my own. And Anybody that sees this movie is going to have their mouth dropped to know that this is actually happening in today's society. This movie is probably the best. I don't want to say it's better than Oscars talk this year, but this movie was mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Yep.
And my last one, and if I had to pick a favorite, it's either that one before this one or this one.
So they're your number 1 and number 2.
Maybe if I was going to, but it's only, and you'll see in a minute, is Woman on the Roof. We open and close on our lead actor, Mirka, played by Dorota Pamikala, in a tour de force performance. There are 2 really different women from where she starts to where she finishes. Her journey she took us on was vulnerable and scary and shocking at times, and I never knew what was going to happen next. This film will sit with me for a while as I process the immenseness of the emotions of depression we journey through with her. She was in the same level of single female lead actor equal to Elle from however many years Paul Verhoeven's Elle. And
3 or 4.
yeah, like I couldn't take my eyes off her, and the fact that how she could bring out not just emotions, but how she just seemed to keep moving forward when, she's tried. Like, I would love to now see Isabelle Huppert and her in a film together, and now I want to go see every single thing that she's ever been in. So, yeah, she was brilliant. It's a character movie. What's my favorite type of movies? Character movies. See those 5 films. All right. Passing the baton, Barasabu. Number 5.
So, tied for number 5.
Ugh, you're a piece of shit.
Homage, which was just delightful. I absolutely fell in love with the lead character. She's a director, and she is awesome.
She was awesome.
Also, at
if I would have done Thai things like you did, that probably would have been my number, tied for number 5.
There you go. Also at number 5, The Woodcutter Story, for all the reasons that both you and Murray both stated. This is the one movie that ended up on all our top.
What?
It is rare indeed.
It's almost never heard of.
And then Smoking Causes Cancer for
coughing.
Oh, yeah,
but it also
coughing.
causes cancer.
Smoking Causes Coughing. I've done that like 5 times now.
You can't, because that's the commercial, right?
Yeah.
It's like, they don't say
drilled into my head now.
That's right.
Smoking Causes Coughing.
Smoking is
Coughing.
bad.
That's right. It's bad, okay?
Which is good for all the reasons Jim said. I mean, it's just absurdist fun. From the start to finish, it is just a blast.
Well, can't you see that as a TV show? Because it really lends itself to it.
I can't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
with
but
the TV show.
there's so much that more I wanted to see.
Yeah,
They're
and
overage Power
that's how
Rangers.
everything should be, Jim. Leave you wanting more instead of beating you over the head with it
Yeah.
for 47 episodes.
But if
at
that
which
was
point
if that
it
was
just
47,
kills,
I
just
don't know.
kills it.
Well, because they were like Tales from the Crypt type
No.
stories that were tied into it.
Anyways, tied for number 3.
You're a dick. You know what? We're not allowing you to do this anymore.
If it's tied for 3, then there should be number 1.
Yeah,
Tied
exactly.
for number 3, Children of the Mist. Just absolute heartbreaking documentary, shocking as any documentary you'll see. As Jim mentioned, your jaw will drop.
Your jabba.
Or your jaw will drop.
One of those 2 things.
Drop your jaw was too.
So also tied at number 3 is Woman on the Roof for the powerhouse performance from Dorota Pamikala. I don't know.
Sure.
Something
Sounds
like that.
Polish.
Pamikala. Dorota was amazing. One of the best performances I've seen in a long, long while. Just astonishingly good. Number 2, Plan 75. I really enjoy.
We talked about that last week, though.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay, so then number 3 is
number 3.
Yeah, I know, but we got to revise this.
So it's not tied for number 3.
Number 3 is Children of the Mist And number 2 is Woman on the Roof, because apparently I've already talked about Plan 75.
You did. It made our top 5 from last week.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Second half.
Yeah.
After Wednesday.
Well, somebody should really proofread my list before we go on.
That's
the
what
air.
I just said. We're going to do that from now on.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to do all this crap that you're doing. Ties here and ties there. Put your top 10 in. It's really a top 5.
I've only got one tie now.
You're a tie.
And it was tied. I couldn't split them. You can't split them. They both
Then
got
the
to go
second one
on.
should have been number 4.
I don't know. Now I'm confused because of all these numbers floating around. What number are we doing now?
Doing number 1.
Okay, what is
Which I thought that I did P-Off last week and Plan 75 this week. But apparently I saw P-Off this week. That's the best movie I saw in the second half of the festival then. It is just so good. Lots of horsey fun.
But
Bryce, he does like his horses.
That's the reason why these festivals exist.
Oh, it's
an artistic piece that is like...
The only place you're going to see a movie like this is at the festival. And that is a shame, but it's also true. I'm hoping that someday we'll actually get back to the point where we get actual good cinema instead of, blockbusters and 40
and stuff we're going to talk about next.
Exactly.
Hey, Jim.
What?
Guess what's missing from this podcast?
What?
A certain four-legged creature.
Yes, I just noticed.
Speaking of someone who loves horses.
Speaking of horsey play.
Oh, no.
No wonder he's all mixed up this week.
That's why he's all discombobulated.
He doesn't have his precious Charlie horse with him.
That's
so
right.
No wonder he's off his kilter.
Oh, no.
He
Worst part is Charlie Horse is going to be super ticked at me when he finds out that the podcast
his
went
talking
over.
imaginary horse that has it's wrapped in cloth.
Tonight.
That's right. Somebody's in trouble. So yeah, that was our wrap up from the end of the Calgary International Film Festival. I cannot state this enough to everybody that listens to our podcast. If you have never been to a film festival, no matter what city you live in, find out where the film festivals are and go and see some of these movies, because some of the movies that we have seen, as Murray had already alluded to, you may never get to see these. They may never come to streaming. They may never go to cinemas near you. The best ones obviously do, and you're going to hear, I would imagine,
Not
of
necessarily.
the top. No, true enough, but I would imagine some of our top 5s are going to make it to the Oscars for international films.
Maybe.
Because I don't know about yours, because I don't know what you've done.
Your local
with this.
art house theaters may choose to bring them.
P-Off was a German film. Smoking Causes Coughing was a French film. The Woodcutter Story was Finnish film. Children of the Mist was it some Filipino?
No, it was, wasn't it?
Malaysian?
No.
We'll look it up. I'll tell you in a minute. Woman on the Roof was Polish. So my top 5 films from the festival, none of them were in English. So you're not going to get to see these very often.
True.
That is where you and I differ. But
what do we differ?
Most of my movies that I watch are in English.
Yeah, but most of the movies.
Vietnamese, there you go.
Yeah, it was North Vietnam was where this took place.
I can see English-speaking movies all year round.
I know.
I like to read.
Probably not the ones I saw.
That's true. So yeah,
Anyway.
go check these out.
Yes. Go see movies.
At the theater and at festivals.
Yeah.
All right. We also went to stuff.
We did find time to squeeze some stuff in.
We
Actually,
found
I believe
time.
we went after festival's over.
Yes, we did. And a reason to smile?
Maybe.
Bryce?
Yes, we went and saw Smile. It is
a movie.
It's a movie
with smiles.
There's people in it, and there's lots of smiling. Most of it's creepy.
A horror movie per se.
It was pretty horrifying, I'd say. I really enjoyed the build of the first half hour or so. At 30 minutes in, I thought, wow, this is going to be an excellent movie with very good performances. For the most part, special effects were pretty cool. And then it turned into some kind of weird crime thriller thing, and then it sort of fell off the ledge.
And it was an hour and 55 minutes. So 30 minutes in, it turned for the worst.
Yeah, this was too long. This movie did not have enough story to go an hour and 55 minutes long. It had a very good concept. Stuff we've seen before, though, not super original.
Nope.
But very well filmed. And I liked it. At the end of the day, I was entertained. It was meh.
All right. Something you didn't mention was the music in this.
Music was good.
Was unique. It had a different music based on different times as the film progressed, which I found very well done. Back to your point about the production values in this film were incredible.
Yeah.
I like the gore effects.
Both films we watched were pretty slick.
Whenever anyone either dreamed or imagined stuff, or when they actually offered themselves, the gore was awesome.
It was.
I also liked some of the jump scares. There was quite a few jump scares, and the pacing was also well done. What I didn't like, and there's a lot, was the ending. The Ring, quote unquote, type story, which we have seen many times before, which I predicted, by the way. Also, I didn't like the unbelievability of how the story progressed once she has the curse, quote unquote. She tells how it seems to affect her way differently than the predecessors who got to, quote unquote, smile. Why did it not come to her as often and in such a devastating way as it had come to other people? Why? Because they were on a detective story. Plus, after the prison scene, so there's a scene where she goes to the prison scene, doesn't tell her cop buddy after she comes out, which made completely no sense because
I was okay
she was
with
she was tying everything with him. This is a person that she was almost married to, or maybe she was married to, and she was asking lots of things from him. She comes out from a situation that was a big part of what their whole detective story was, and she's like, "Oh, it was nothing."
It's nothing.
And he obviously knew there was something because he knew how she was when she came out of there.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, like, I'm sorry, what the fuck? And how he and everybody else through the entire story was finding it hard to believe her after she would kind of tell them things, especially him. Like, there was a scene.
She put the story together for them.
Yeah,
like she did the research for them to link everything together.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's a part where she goes to his place and they basically start this detective story.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's already bought in. Yeah, okay, there's a curse and this is what's happening and blah, blah, blah. And then he meets up with her afterwards and he's like, there was 20 more of these that I did the research on. Yeah, who cares? We already know you bought into the story.
I can't.
Another 5 minutes.
I wanted to know how many more.
No, there was 155 minutes, and that was 5 minutes they could have cut out.
No, that was 5 minutes they needed to keep.
No, that was your mind is broken. So Parker Finn, less influence from similar storylines, and tie the story better where it makes more sense to do that, and take out at least 25 minutes of this movie. At least 25 minutes. That would have made it a tight hour and a half. Maybe even an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
And this could have turned into a Mondo.
There was a lot of good in it.
There was a lot of good. The gore was great. The horror was good. The jump scares were predictable. The story was predictable. Some of the tie-ins to the detective story was dumb, especially if you're comparing to how traumatized every character she runs into that has the smile. Yeah. So
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked some of it. I didn't like an hour and 55 minutes of it.
Cal Penn was in it, though.
Yeah, he was worth the time that they had Cal Penn in there.
Yeah.
When Kumar was in it, it was
Kumar.
good. That's right.
Dr. Kumar.
Dr. Kumar. Medicine man.
Yes.
All right, Murr, what'd you think of Smiling? Other than the picture I sent you of Bryce when he was smiling.
Yeah,
which
that creeped me out more than the movie did.
That's his
you should see his picture,
profile
man.
picture. It's so good.
It's like Bryce with the biggest
Twitter's
grin you ever
seen
saw.
it,
And I'm like,
I scared Twitter with this picture.
Is it trending?
It's trending on Twitter right now. Hashtag Bryce's smile.
I usually don't like horror films, as you know. I find most of them boring and predictable and generally not scary. I have to admit, this one wasn't bad. There were actually a few jump-worthy moments that actually got me. Mostly due to the quiet scenes and loud noises. They use that effect a lot. Like a, pitch, quiet house and all of a sudden a boom, a big scare. Like, yeah, of course you're going to jump. Doesn't mean you're scared. It just means you were startled by the noise, which is what happened to me. It did remind me a lot of The Ring, which is actually one of the few horror films that actually freaked me out.
Nice.
So in that way, there was really nothing groundbreaking or new. The problem is, I knew exactly how it was going to end.
Yes.
I could have written the goddamn script. I
and
knew how it was
if Murray
going to
could
end.
do that, imagine the rest of us.
Exactly. Someone who doesn't like horror films, I could have written the ending to that.
I was looking at my picture on Twitter. That's nice. I like it.
Because of that, the fact that it was predictable, it was the usual horrible meh.
Nice. You know what that means?
Oh yeah, I guess it is. Where is it?
Nice. Well, not only did we get to smile, don't worry, darling, we got to do other things.
Yes.
Like see a movie called Don't Worry, Darling.
Got to go back in time.
That's right. Well, maybe not. This film,
Like the Huey Lewis song.
exactly, was pretty much every single thing I expected it was going to be when I saw the trailer. Stepford Wives meets The Matrix. The music was all done so perfectly well, and the filming was very stylish, as we've already kind of hinted at.
Yes.
And every single character in this were absolutely fantastic to see, especially Florence Pugh. Pugh, who was exceptional in this role. To be honest, though, I was just mostly bored. I could see what was coming a mile away, and the journey was pretty much as the second trailer showed. So basically, it was just too long getting to the end as fast as I was hoping it would be.
2 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah. Plus, the final scene was completely annoying.
Yep.
And again, predicted.
Yep.
So, for a system created by misogyny and controlling women that really underestimated their abilities, especially for women who they already know who were brilliant to begin with. In addition, not that I needed to, but what exactly did the men do when they transport? Nobody has to answer that. I'm just like, who cares? Actually, never mind. Who cares?
They're working for the Victory Project.
Yeah, of course they were. Yeah.
Apparently it was top secret because nobody can know about it except them.
That's right.
And there's just so long. There is a reason to see this, and the only real reason is to see Florence Pugh. But otherwise, just watch The Matrix at the same time that you're watching the Stepford Wives, either the 1975 version or the 2000 version. It doesn't really matter. Apparently, this is another iteration of that tale, which again, just stop. Just please stop remaking movies. Every 10 years, we get a remake of another movie that we've already seen with a different spin on it. I don't want to see it. I want to see original content. If Florence Pugh was in a movie that was actually something original and creative that I couldn't predict after seeing the second or first trailer, that's the movie I want to see. I don't want to see The Stepford Wives meets The Matrix meets Florence Pugh. I just don't want to see it. This is getting a very, 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 very low meh. It almost made it to a rage, especially after the last 5 minutes of this movie. But I can't give Florence Pugh a rage because she was so brilliant in it. That's. Don't worry, darlings. You're still a meh.
I liked the music,
It was great, right?
the clothing, and the cars. That's all I got.
So you like chicks and cars and the Third World War?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Just so I know.
I did see Colin James, by the way.
I know. You like how I did that?
That was a nice tie-in. Mr. One Direction himself, Harry Styles,
What's a One Direction?
was the leading man of this film.
It's
Enough
a musical group.
said.
Oh.
He is a musician trying to be an actor. That's all I got to say about that. Florence Pugh was actually pretty good
Yep.
and very pretty to look at.
Yep.
The whole 50s vibe was awesome, except maybe all the, male chauvinism flying around. I still can't believe that's how it used to be. Like before my time, where housewives used to greet their husband at the door with a drink and, pot roast in the oven. They'd basically spend the whole day cleaning the house. I'm like, what an era. Like, geez, I'm surprised women didn't like kill their husbands at the end of the week.
Well,
Some of them did.
They did, and some of them lit their bras on fire in the 60s.
Exactly. It's like, I can't believe they put up with that crap. Anyway, I digress. It had a decent story, even though it dragged on way too long. And they lost me with the twist, which I'm not going to give away in case you actually want to go see it.
But you can predict it, so you don't
But
have
you can
to
predict it. Yeah, and like you said, the last 5-10 minutes was stupid.
It was so dumb.
Not that I was paying too much attention by that point. Just a meh, and 2 hours of my life I won't get back.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely style over substance.
Oh, it's beautifully shot.
Yep.
Great
Yeah,
art design.
the music
but,
was great.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies where there's so much that's good, yet it's, as
The
you say,
actual
it's
story.
the story just absolutely torpedoes it.
There really isn't. There wasn't really any character development either.
No.
Like there
it
was.
was
You
a
would
bit-
see
Well-
them. No, they weren't. They didn't.
Here's-
They had her arc,
Yeah, no,
but
her-
even
hers-
then, it
hers
didn't
was-
really develop her
No, like,
because
in the first half of the movie, all the men were the same and all the women were the same.
Yeah, that's kind of the
Except
point,
for,
though.
what's his name?
They're all
Chris
the.
Pine.
That's kind of
Who was
the
like the cult
point.
leader, but yeah, the
I
rest
had
of them
no
were
problem
all-
with that.
They
That
were
was
in
the
their
point.
little box. They did
Exactly,
What they were supposed to,
and that's exactly, and that was all the development you needed because they're all coming from the same place.
they were cookie cuttered, basically.
Exactly. So,
Which was annoying.
Well, that didn't annoy
because
me.
it was the same thing as a Stepford.
At the risk of giving away too much, I'm just sick of movies where you're in a coma or you're asleep or whatever, and something happens in your dream.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's okay. I can understand if something happens in your dream that's so horrifying that maybe your heart stops and you die of a heart attack or something like that. But if you get stabbed in your dream and then in real life you start bleeding, that's stupid.
I kind of feel that's stupid too.
Yeah. So
Isn't that the whole
let's
premise
just
of
let's
The
just
Matrix.
stop
Freddy
with
Krueger?
that is. But the thing about Freddy Krueger though is you're going to go so over the top with it.
Yeah.
You can almost forgive it for the
Yeah.
ridiculousness of the whole thing. But when you're not trying to be ridiculous, don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, when they're trying to make it like, oh, this is a possible science fiction film.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
It's different.
You got 1 second of science fiction in a movie that happens to be inside of a dream state.
The same rules don't apply to this movie that apply to
Other-
A Nightmare on Elm Street or
Right.
Hellraiser or
Right. To the point. Okay, so if you're actually in a dream state,
yes.
maybe this is also, you can pile this on top of your wood pile. No pun with the woodcutter there, Murray. But if you're gonna make a film like this, like I'm thinking as they're driving, first off, Florence Pugh's driving a fast car. She
Just like
has a
Kristen
fast
Chapman.
car.
They're all driving 57 Chevys.
I've got a ticket.
No, like she's driving like a Mustang or a Corvette.
and these
They're
cars
driving- they're
and she's
driving
got her foot
Studebakers.
to the floor. Now, if this is a in your mind type thing, it should have Matrix tendencies too. Can't she just imagine herself that she's driving
Going faster?
Well, maybe
The rules of this Matrix are
Yeah.
different than the other Matrix.
but she doesn't 100% know what's going on. The other people do, so they should be able to.
She must have known because she went to the Tower of
Whatever.
Babylon
Tower
once
Babylon,
before.
whatever it was,
Yeah.
and
But
she
I mean,
figured it out.
She figured stuff out, but she doesn't 100% know. How could you?
I thought
Well,
they explained it to her at the end there.
yeah, they kind of
And they're about to kill her.
Anyway,
Oh, did they? I didn't
Spoiler.
catch
yeah,
that.
see, it's because by that point, by the time it gets to 2 hours and 5 minutes,
You just don't care.
you're kind of checked out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think we're being a little generous this week, perhaps.
I'm also giving it a meh because it was very pretty to look at.
No, it was very beautifully shot. Like they spent a lot of money on designing that 50s.
I believe you can give Olivia Wilde a big budget movie and she can make a good big budget movie, but she just happened to have a.
Why doesn't she make an independent movie? With no budget.
And I would love to see that, but I'm just saying that she didn't. I'm still looking forward to other things that she does as a director.
Yeah, I think so.
I think
if she can pull this much style out and she can get Florence Pugh to be amazing, I want to see both of that again.
Yeah.
So that I'm excited about. That in itself made it meh because I'm like, you know what? There's still potential here. It's just this movie kind of was poopy.
Yeah.
I always love the fact that it can be one thing in a movie that can take Bryce from a mondo to a rage, but some stuff that's just the movie's poopy is like, okay, it's just poopy, but I like that's okay.
It's pretty though.
It's like, I want to know like
the color saturation.
I want a list to be made.
The cars, the clothing, and the.
I want a list to be made about
the
things that make Bryce change. That's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because the ending on this should have driven you to a rage.
I am the absolute most consistent of all of us. So I don't know what you are talking about.
You were the least consistent of any of us. Because if it's a 13-year-old girl movie, you'll like it. If it's a 13-year-old boy movie, you won't like it.
I'm pretty good at predicting what movies he will like. I'm usually right. Sometimes I don't know, but usually I can tell.
Usually we can.
Usually by the look on his face when we're seeing the movies, I know he's going to hate something.
That's a giveaway when we're watching the
giveaway.
Well,
you're going to hate it.
Sometimes I crawl into my own skin. I'm just like trying to get away from the movie and I'm sitting in the chair and I'm like squirming because I want to just get out of there. And I'm just so antsy because I please let me out of this movie, but I can't. I got to watch the whole thing because I got to talk about the
my trick is I go to the bathroom halfway through and walk around for 5 minutes.
Sometimes you go to the bathroom and you never come back.
No, usually I come back, but usually it's like 5-10 minutes because I have to get out of the theater to wake myself up.
Nice.
But so,
wow.
That was a big old crappy meh.
But you know what? Next week we are going to be back to our usual in cinema play things. For those of you who've been listening to us forever, the list is coming back. We're going to be talking about Quills, and it's going to be Joaquin Phoenix versus Jeffrey Rush. Our Rager Dare has our beautiful Bryce, who pulled Precious Cargo.
Yeah, which is not a theatrical release, but whatever. I'm going to watch it anyways.
Yeah, you are.
But I'm doing it under protest.
He's doing it under protest.
Because you could not go to any theater that I can get to and watch this movie.
Wasn't it Spain?
I don't know. Somewhere. I think it was like Yugoslavia or something.
Nice.
Showed it on one guy's private cinema in his basement where 2 other people watched it.
Don't be complaining that you don't have a private jet.
And then somehow that becomes a Rager Dare.
Somebody spent the money to put this in cinemas.
No, it didn't.
It did.
I was not in cinemas. So I could not see it. How is it in cinemas if I can't go to the cinema?
So if it only comes to Canada in cinemas, then it counts. If it's made in the U.S. and it got into 72 U.S. cinemas,
and
then it counts.
I said North of. I thought we agreed on North America.
No, we didn't. We said if it made it to cinemas.
Sure we did.
No,
that includes Mexico.
Cinemas. Because what if it's a film that's made in Yugoslavia?
There you go.
Film was made in Yugoslavia. It played in Yugoslavia. It was a cinematic release too.
Yeah, there's
your argument's terrible.
No, my argument's not.
It's
terrible.
The worst.
It's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next week's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
You guys doing your rage this week?
Nope.
No. Okay,
that's it.
Then. All right then. Well, I guess we're done.
I thought we were.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
I thought he was too.
I changed my mind. I'm already pissed off. I can't wait till next week.
All right then.
All right. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks, the extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rager Dare, who you'll get to hear Casey back next week. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageYYC.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please like, comment, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!